Hello, everybody, and welcome to 3 Points of Light. I am Darlene, also known as Mama D, and my co-hosts are Jennifer's Journey. Say hi,
Hello,
Jen.
everybody.
And the indomitable Brian-Clover from Thunder. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian. How are you? Good
He's
day,
a
all.
cranky old curmudgeon, but we won't talk to him. I want to thank our guest for today is Sherri Gamble, Wings to Soar. Everybody in the chat room, if you do not know Sherri, you're in for a super mega treat. I remember the first time I met her, she if I could have fallen off my chair, I would have fallen off my chair. She's just that awesome. But
Well,
I am going to turn the controls over to Brian for today's show. I'll be here, but
thank you very much. Thank you very much, and welcome, Sherri. Really do appreciate you coming on. I have been honoured to know Sherri from years and years and years back. She has taught me more about spiritualism than anybody else possibly could have done. One of the main things was empathy, and she is an absolute whiz at teaching. So if anybody needs help, anybody needs assistance really with unknown things on spiritualism, see Sherri. She'll sort you. Anyway, welcome, Sherri. I really do appreciate you coming, love.
Thank you. I'm very honored that you invited me, both of you.
It's absolutely wonderful. I think like many other people in our particular thing, you started off with a very hard life, and coming from there, it seems to be that it was preordained, and this is where I think a lot of us get our true feelings from. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. I had a very unsettling childhood before I was adopted. Once I came to my parents, it calmed down. I was a very young empath and very, very psychic, even at 3 and 4 years old. And I just thought that everybody did what I saw. And one of the funniest memories of me growing up is when I went to my mom as a 5-year-old, I do believe, and I said, I keep smelling and tasting things. And I remember her bending down and touching my face, and she goes, honey, that's okay. That's what our nose and our mouth are for. And I remember just looking at her like, oh, okay, And of course, my mother didn't know a lot about who I was and what I could do because, being young, you don't have that kind of communication. You know what I mean? So I just learned to keep a lot of things to myself, what I saw, what I smelled, what I felt, what I saw, and I've saw quite a bit. I've been pretty amazed, and I still get amazed.
The thing being is, I have found personally that the things that we pick up, we automatically assume is normal. We automatically assume that everybody else can pick them up and see. I'm pretty certain you went through exactly the same thing when you was a young one.
Yeah, I did, and I had a very strong connection to older people. I always have. I would love to just sit there, and even when I was little, when I'd sit there and I would just be in awe of what they looked like inside, how they communicated, what I could see, and I just used to sit there literally for hours and just watch. I never particularly got connected with a lot of people my own age, even as a teenager. I never was into the makeup and the music, and I was into psychology books and medical books and things like that, and music. I thought it was pretty hokey that these young girls wanted to put makeup on and go to the mall. And I'm like, no,
Why?
I think I'll just sit outside and talk to the trees. I didn't tell them that because one time that I did see something when I was in my teens in high school, I had this vision of this girl falling down the steps and breaking her leg. And I said, you need to be careful on the steps because I see you falling down and breaking your leg. Well, a week later it happened. And she came back to me and she called me evil and a witch. And that started everybody stayed away from me in high school because they thought I was peculiar.
A witch.
No, I don't think a witch. Well, maybe they did. I don't know. But they just looked. They treated me as the odd one out, which hurt, which was very hurtful because I was just helping. You know what I mean? I thought, okay, well, maybe if I tell her, she'll be more careful. Well, it didn't go in the direction that I thought it was going to go. And
Well, I have a question, Wayne,
Sure.
Sherri. A lot of us went through stuff when we were young, and we know kids are
Pearl.
bullies at some point because everybody gets bullied, so they do the bully. Do you think it's changed now? Whereas because spiritualism is more open, people are more. It seems to me are more open since the last 5 years.
I think it's changed dramatically in the last actually 10 years. It's really, really changed a lot. It's more of an open. I did not learn. Well, I knew my mother was gifted because I used to fly with her in spirit all the time. I did not really start communicating with my mother until I was like 28. And one night I had a dream that I flew into her bedroom and woke her up and said, come on, Mom, let's go fly. And I took her hand and we flew, and I knew it was someplace in Pennsylvania. It was like a railroad type place. And then the next morning she called me and she said, I had the strangest dream, and she told me. And from that point on, I knew. You know, we just had this stronger connection, and she used to share things. It was it's like a bridge the railroad goes over. I can't think of the name. A trestle.
Trestle.
We flew under this trestle. I'll never, ever forget it. And then she told me the exact same thing. And, as far as you said the question, as far as has it grown, has it gotten different? Oh, yeah, definitely. It's more open. A lot more open. I was raised Pentecostal, so, that kind of stuff was, we were raised, that was evil, that was the devil, you're going to go to hell. I mean, I thought for sure by the time I was 20, I was going to hell. There was no doubt in my mind. There was no doubt in my mind. And then my life changed, and I met this person who said, why would Creator give this beautiful gift if you were going to go to hell? Changed my world completely around.
I like that.
So, yeah.
It is a completely different thing, though. To what we know now, to what it was then. I mean, when I first started, it was, my grandmother taught me healing when I was 8 years old, and I've just continued doing it. But when I tried doing it to a friend of mine, I was literally demonized, and it was, it felt really bad. But the thing is, I realised then that some of us are different to others. And
I was taught real soon, keep all this stuff to yourself, because if you don't, people are going to make fun of you. So I just continually saw and worked with spirit. I mean, I've always been able to hear. Just like I'm listening to you guys, I've always been able to hear spirit like that and see spirit. I've always have. And I've seen some pretty miraculous things. I mean, I believe in fairies. I believe in unicorns. I believe in dragons. The mystical world is a fantastic place. And for those who don't think that it exists, well, that's okay. Maybe someday you'll awaken to that. I like traveling to the different realms. They hold really great lessons.
This is very true. I, on the other hand, really put mine all to one side once I started getting chastised, is the word. My mother, even though she was a very powerful person, she did not believe that it should be used and really forbade me from ever going down that street. So it's just a different upbringing. You can't lose it. I mean, what is there is always there, and one can only try and live with yourself. And I think this is where most of us come from. Until I think, maybe in 10 years' time when there's a lot more people believing in it, then the youngsters, as they're growing up, they will realise earlier and be able to talk about it.
I've always been open.
Yeah, this is it.
With my whole family and my grandchildren. At first, they thought I was too for coast, and now, they come to me. My granddaughter is very, very gifted. My daughter, our whole family is, and my belief is that if you choose to work with what you have, okay. If you choose not to work with what you have, that's okay too. Because everybody's path is different. Maybe they're not ready to. Maybe down the road they will. I don't know. I'm not Mrs. God. I don't know that. But Darlene has some questions. I can feel it.
Darlene always has questions. Okay, you have, living with you, you have a very awesome man, your husband, David. But you also have your granddaughter and your great-granddaughter.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
You, as being spiritually open as you are, and I know your husband is, do you see in your daughter, your granddaughter and your granddaughter, the gifts that they have and how strong that they will become?
I knew when I first came to California 13 years ago, Madison was probably one of my first teachers. She taught me a lot. She was born open, and she never closed. She sees spirit, she hears spirit, she's a healer, and her daughter Harlow is the same way. I told my daughter, her mother, when her mother came to me and said, well, she keeps telling me that she sees fairies, I said, then okay, don't discourage her. If that's what she sees, that's what she sees. And thank God her mother listened to me, because they are opened. They're very open with, our whole family is very open with each other. Now, it wasn't always that way, but it is now.
Yeah.
I usually can tell what type of gifts.
So when you meet somebody, I'm not saying like the Long Island medium, I don't say that thing, but when you meet somebody in a spiritual setting, can you tell if, example, I always ask this question of all my guests, can you tell, for example, okay, if you know Brian, if he came to you because he wanted to be a medium and he wanted to hear spirit, he wants to work on it, would you be able to say, okay, you can work on it, but I see you more with the vision, seeing of spirit. Can you tell the difference with somebody who comes to you?
Definitely. I always have, ever since I was little. That has never changed.
And can you tell if somebody, okay, I know we all, that everybody is born with these gifts. And I call them a gift because I see that everybody has them, and it's a gift, and whether they decide to unwrap it when they're born and leave it unwrapped, or like me when I was 50 and re-unwrap it, So I just lost my train of thought with that gift thing. Would you be able to tell somebody, okay, yeah, they're born with this openness to that and constantly open. They just don't know how to deal with it. Or I know everybody needs training, but this is something that somebody's trained into. Because you see so many people out there, I'm going to use card readers and Oracle and Tarot, who have a little bit of it, but get more of their training and their education with actual training. It doesn't just come as easily, naturally as like for you did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me answer that question this way.
Oh, Brian's gone.
I teach spiritual integrity. Empathy, second. Well, I teach everything. But the reason I teach spiritual integrity is because as a person, and this is what I believe, you don't have to agree with me, everybody has their own views, it's an inside job. It has to start with oneself and go outward. If you don't know you, how could you possibly wholeheartedly know somebody else? There's going to be people who come across your path that you instantly click. There's going to be people who come to your path and you're going to sit back and go, wow, what's going on here? Those are all lessons. And some of them are lessons for you, some of them are lessons for other people. And I'm not necessarily talking about you, I'm just using you as an example.
Yeah.
But I accept everybody the way they are. If they want to further their spiritual education, that's fine. If I can help in any way, then that's fine. And one of the quotes that I like is, I only know what I know when I'm to know it. And that's the truth. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm Mrs. God, because I'm not. I don't know everything. I'm not proclaiming to know everything. But I work with spirit. I work with guides. I work with angels. I work with animals. I've worked with children. And I have learned so much. I have learned mega amounts even from my own granddaughters. And if a teacher ever tells you that, oh, I've learned everything that I have to learn, run away as fast as you can, because that's just bullpucky. That is a bucket full of bullpucky. Because that's not
it's also run when somebody tells you, no, you can't do it that way. You have to do it my way, and my way is the only way.
Exactly. Exactly.
I've learned that one.
I mean, my husband is a Reiki master. I don't do Reiki. I am what you call a light weaver. I work with sound and light and energy. It's where you use that energy from. I use universal energy. That energy comes through me. No. No one's better than me, and I'm not better than anyone. I may have some little wisdoms that some people don't have. They may have wisdoms that I don't have. But we're all in this together. It's, just because maybe my one oar is broken, maybe your oar will help me. Or vice versa. I don't live in my ego. And there is such a thing as ego and spiritual ego. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
There's so many people do it, though, isn't there? So many people have got this idea that the way they do things is the only way, and I know this. I mean, I went to Sherri some years ago and told her of the attributes that I've got, and she said, what's wrong with that? And it quite shook me, because everybody else, it was, let's put it this way, I felt as though I was the only one, and seemingly I'm not. And because Sherri pointed out to me that everybody is their own person, and you do your thing your way. There's nothing that you can say is wrong in any of it.
And everybody has their own different growths and their different levels of growth. And, it really gets to me where I'm on this level. I don't really give a rat's behind what level you're on, as long as you're using it from your heart. I'm not here to butter anybody's biscuits. I'm not. If you want to ask me something, fine, ask me. But at the same time, I'm not going to collywog you. I'm going to tell you what I see and what I feel. And if that hurts your feelings in some way, well, then that's actually basically on you. I'm not going to be crass, crude, or indifferent. I'm a very compassionate person, but at the same time, I'm not going to dangle a carrot in front of your nose and go, come follow me, come follow me. No, that's not who I am.
Not so.
not by the longest. Good, no way. Like I said, when I first met you, we were having a Skype conversation, and you were like, do you mind if I, and you started, and I said, yeah, okay. And you went on, and it's like, Diane loves carrots. And you, like I said, you knocked me on my butt. I could have been literally too, as well as, physically. I mean, could have been physically as well as literally. Because I was so used to people going, well, giving you little tidbits and saying, come back and see me later. You just sort of laid everything out on the table and kind of went, and you was like, is that okay? And I was like, yeah, scary, but okay, but scary in a good kind of way.
I mean, I know my energy is very strong, and sometimes I have to pull it back a little bit. But if you're going to ask me something, fine, but don't expect the answer that you want, because I'm going to give you what Spirit tells me. I'm going to give it to you exactly like that. And this fallacy of oh, spirits would never yell, bullpuck. I had a client that her father came through, and he laid into her. He told her, he goes, I don't like the way you're treating your mother. You need to knock it off. So, readings aren't all about fluff and roses and no.
Mm-hmm.
The reading, I mean, you're going to get what I give. I mean, I'm going to give you what I get.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to color code it. I just don't.
That is the only way to be, though, Sherri, because in all honesty, otherwise you're denying your attributes, aren't you? It's so easy to be able to knock people, and that's something that you taught me years ago. What you've got, it's all part of empathy, and you've got to really love yourself, love the people, and really move on from there, because your gift is a gift from God.
There's a lot of misconceptions about empathy. There's a difference between an SLP and an empath. Now, if you're an empath, you're also an SLP. But if you're an SLP, not necessarily you're an empath. An SLP is a highly sensitive person. An HSP, highly sensitive person. You can be very highly sensitive, but that doesn't make you an empath.
Okay.
Very true. An empath is quite extraordinary. I mean, for a long time, I ran from it. I even told my guys, get this flippin' thing away from me. I don't want this effing. I did. I know it's not nice, but I'm telling you what, I fought them tooth and nail. And nail. Because it was all fear. I was so afraid. And now I love who I am. I embrace my empathy. I not always particularly like what I smell from others. Sometimes I'll be, what's going on? But I have learned, that an empath, you can't lie to an empath. Empaths can go very, very deep. You can paint pink all around you all you want, but an empath is also going to see those little dark spots. You can't lie to an empath. You just can't.
That's very, very true.
A friend can come and say, oh, I'm in, they can have a happy face. I'm really good. And as soon as they walk into my house, I'm there. Okay, what's wrong? It's true. It's just, but I will say that, but I'm also saying, okay, I can really sense that there's something going on, but if you choose not to talk about it, I'll respect that. But I can strongly, it's, as an empath, you really need to learn to be non-judgmental. People are people. You don't know what's in their book. You don't know what's in their back doors. And I think it's a privilege to be given that sneak preview, because it also helps me learn, if that makes sense. I mean, if you all don't agree with me, please speak up and say so. It's, that's just...
Sherri. But we can't not agree. Okay, for me, everybody has to have an open mind. Okay, that's the first and foremost thing. If you want to learn, and majority of the people who come here, I've never yet had anybody in our chat room that was kind of like closed-minded, but everybody understands that if they have something to say here, it's a safe place to say it. And, everybody's allowed to question. They may not understand. So
I have to tell
if somebody wants to.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to tell you that I'm wide open right now, so I'm in scanning mode. I just have to tell you, and I have to say this. Somebody in the chat room is really having issues with their knee or knees. They're having major issues.
If anybody in the chat room doesn't want to have a reading, just pop. But if Eric connects with you, say yes.
And then, you can say no. You can say no all you want, and don't think that I'm going to be offended, because no.
No.
I'll respect whatever you have to say, But I can't shake this knee thing. It's pretty severe.
Yeah, it's Scott Stevenson in the chat room.
It is Scott.
It's Scott.
Yeah.
Scott, is that you? Is this your knee or knees?
Mainly one.
Yeah,
he's been for an MRI.
Okay. Well, Scott, if I may, Darlene and Brian and Jennifer, is it okay if I connect to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. Love.
Scott, is it okay if I come to you? Okay, sweetheart, let me tell you first thing that I'm getting. I'm seeing a lot of little daisies around you, so this tells me that you do love the outdoors, and you don't get to go out as much as you want to get out. But I'm going to tell you that this problem with your knee, it will be taken care of. But here's the thing, and this may sound harsh to you, but Scott, you need to take care of you and stop wanting to be there for everybody else. You know what, Scott? It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I'm really not up to that today. You're not Mr. God. You need to take care of you first, and you're not. And you also need to drink more water. Your body feels dehydrated. You really, truly need to drink water. I want you to start drinking a bottle of water in the morning and a bottle of water before you go to bed. Can you? I'm not talking about tea, sweetheart. I'm talking about water. Plain, simple water. You can drink it cold, you can drink it warm, I'm talking about regular water. And I don't know if you can get in the tub, but Epsom salt would be really nice to soak that knee in. If you can do that.
He said okay. And he will up the element of water.
And throw some lemon in there, in your water. I'm also seeing, or feeling, do you have indigestion a lot, sweetheart? Almost like when you ref up food. Like, I don't know what it's called. No, you don't?
He's a Scotsman. He's US.
No, there's somebody around you that deals with acid reflux then. Because I'm tasting it. I don't know who that is, but they really have, because they really have it quite bad at times. Some chamomile tea would be good for her, sweetheart. And I'm to tell you that you have a male guide standing that just came in, husky guy, not real tall, not real short, medium height. And he's wiggling my ear. In other words, he's trying to tell me that you need to listen more. And this comes into first thought. You have, hold on. Say that again. You like slamming the door before you should slam it. In other words, let them finish. They're not here to dish you. And don't be afraid of the words, not that you always are, but you can be very apprehensive at times, he says. And the one dream that you've been having over and over, about nature, pay attention to that dream. You're missing a major part of that dream. And ask that your dreams become more clear. Do you understand that? Does that make sense to you? Okay. You're very welcome. Do you have any questions?
Scott the slow typer.
Oh, yes, there's definitely now remember, you asked me, okay? Oh, yeah, there's definitely a direction that you should look. Inside. Quit beating yourself up. You're not perfect. You'll never be perfect. None of us are. Quit being so hard on yourself. You have a really nice heart. And I'm going to tell you that your hands also get warm, so therefore I believe that you're some type of healer. Quit shaking spirit off. Quit shaking your head when you hear your name being called or your shoulders shrugging it. It starts inside with you, sweetheart. You're more than you think you are. Far more than you think you are. Meditation really works, and the best place to do meditation, for me, that I've found, is in the bathtub. I'm also seeing the color blue and green around you. I don't know if those are your favorite colors, but blue and green are showing up a lot.
Always kill.
And there's also a dog in spirit, raggedy-looking dog, medium-sized, multicolored. And this dog is actually showing me how he has rubbed against your leg. And you've even rubbed that leg. That dog is around you. Do you understand? Okay. And he's usually coming around you when you're in pain. Does that make sense to you, honey? Okay, and that's all I'm getting for you right now, Scott. Thank you for listening, and I hope the information has helped you in some way.
Thank you very much for doing that, Sherri. It just proves to me exactly what I've thought all these years. You are beyond belief.
Yeah. Your heart is so
Absolutely.
wide. I'm going to thank you on behalf of Scott. I know he thanked you, and he's got a lovely Scottish voice, so I don't let him up too often because then I'll start to swoon. But, yeah, you nailed him right on the head. He's a friend of mine, so yeah, you nailed him right on the head. I'm sitting here shaking my head up and down going, yeah, oh, yeah.
As I said, I only give what I'm given, so,
I should turn my camera off when people come to read my friends because it's hysterical. I love it. I can't not. Okay. So if anybody in the chat room has a question for Sherri, type it in capitals so I can tell the difference from just people getting me and people wanting a question.
Is Carol still here? Is Carol still here in the chat room?
Yes, she is, and she's mic'd up. Carol, I'm going to unmute you, darling, okay?
Hold on a minute till I plug in. I don't have my thing plugged in. Hold on a minute.
That's okay. We can hear you.
I bet you can. Am I echoing? Hi, Sherri.
Hi, honey.
How are ya?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Hold on till I plug this damn thing in. I'm on the radio station. I'm never going to change, am I?
No. Why can you change a good thing?
Hold on a minute. I'm doing this. I think it's good. Can you hear me?
Yes, Carol.
Fine, sweetie. Okay.
Okay, we still hear the echo, but we'll deal.
Oh, sugar. I wonder why.
It's Carol. It's okay.
No, don't worry about it.
Why don't you ask me the 3 questions that's been on your mind?
I'm just worried about working.
He walked up to Holler's.
I'm also seeing a question about a gentleman that's around you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with that because that's the reason I called you anyway.
Oh, geez, that.
Seriously, it is the reason I came to you.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. Carol.
Yeah.
Drop the worry like a hot rock.
Okay.
You cannot take everybody's problems and make them your own. That's not why you're here. Your heart is so beautiful. And you have so... No. You laugh, but you really, truly don't believe that sometimes. Honey, you don't. Yeah, I'm calling you out on the carpet. Yeah, you really, truly don't. You have such a beautiful, beautiful energy about you. And you're such a giver. What happened about giving to you? What happened with taking care of Carol first? And the reason you don't have a job right now is because you have some things going on inside of you that you need to take care of first. And you know what they are. Do you understand?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So take care of those two things. Delve into it, get to know it, bring it up, be completely honest with yourself. I'm not calling you a fibberlips. That's not what I'm saying. Face it head on. And as much as this work thing is going on, okay, sure. But it's not going to come until you take care of what you need to take care of, and that's you, sweetheart. Do you understand?
Yeah, see, this is the thing. This is the deal. I am working, but I hurt my ankle, and I'm trying to get it better real quick. And that's, like, I'm just worried, like, I don't want to lose my job because I'm waiting tables right now.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. You're not going to lose your job, but the reason you hurt your ankle is because you're not walking in the direction that you need to walk in. Whether you believe that or not, there's something that you're not taking care of for you. You're very personable. You're very good with the customers that you serve.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Take this time to meditate, to go inside, and I'm going to tell you this without going into detail because it's private.
Right.
I don't know what happened to you around the ages of 14 and 15, but that's part of the issue.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm also seeing another issue that happened when you were about 22 to 24. These two things need to be taken care of. Do you understand?
I do know what you're saying, but I think I've dealt with all that stuff. I just hope I did.
It's the inner child that needs to be dealt with. You have to remember, children perceive differently than adults do. Have you ever sat down with your own inner child and held your inner child and told your inner child or yourself how much you love them?
No.
Try that.
Okay.
Carol, I'm going to offer my services to you for free. I would love to do a mini ICR for you and help you dissolve this problem if you let me, or if we can work together, but that's totally on you.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to say a lot because, as I said, it's personal, and I'm not one to loose lips sink ships, and I'm not about that.
I'm not either. I mean, in your heart, you know that.
And the money that you've been waiting for is going to come. I don't know what that means, but I keep seeing money floating down. It's going to come. Do you understand?
Okay.
And I'm also being shown a trip to the mountains, or the desire to go on a trip to the mountains. That will happen too when it's time. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want to ask me, Carol?
I don't really know, honey. I really don't know, sweetie. I will tell you, I think I'm doing okay. I really do think I'm doing okay. I'm just frustrated with, with things, but life in general. Things come up. It's just.
Do you feel the connection that I gave you fit for you?
Yes, absolutely. And I did have a lot of there's those 2 ages you hit on target. I will tell you that. And I will tell you, it took a long time. It took a very, very long time for me to kind of understand what was what. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Because when you are, especially a kid, when stuff happens, you get mad, you get angry, you start beating yourself up. It's always, a kid oftentimes thinks everything's their fault. Well, everything is not their fault.
Correct.
And it took me a long time to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Well, again, Carol, I'm offering my services to you free of charge.
Well, thank you.
If that's up to you whether you take them or not, I'm not, and I will not go and hunt you down and bug you about it either. I won't, because that's not my way.
I know you, and I know about what you're saying. I mean, I know, and I know what your heart is about. I know,
Well, Carol, that's all I'm able to say to you right now. So, but I thank you for letting me connect to you.
Well, thank you for everything. I appreciate it. If I could hug you, I would, but I just can't. So
I feel your heart. I feel your heart hugging me. That's good enough. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right.
My goodness, thank you. That was good. That was awesome. Usual. Horrible things.
The funny thing about this, you guys, and I have to say this to you in the chat room, I was almost adamant about not giving readings today. Ask Brian. We talked about it. I was so certain that I didn't want to, that it wasn't going to happen, and what am I doing? It just rolled in and flowed right out.
But you've always been the same, Sherri. You're much the same as me. There's not a choice, is there? All of a sudden something will come into your head and you've got to...
Yeah, and you know what? There is a choice. But if the pull is so strong that you can't ignore it, like for me, and I'm speaking only about me, guys, not anybody else. When that pull is that strong, no, I don't ignore it because I know better.
Yeah.
It's something that we learn with time and over time and getting it. Because some people, I've heard some people say, I'm connected all the time. And other people say, well, if you're connected all the time, at some point you're going to go, round the bend.
Yeah.
Some of us start around the bend, so it's okay. It's not
See,
far
and
to go.
I use that. I use the pitcher analogy. What happens to a pitcher if you keep filling it up with water? It overflows.
It's going to overflow.
Well, the human brain is no different.
Mm-hmm.
It's unhealthy to be connected 24/7. You need that. I believe that you need that break. Everybody needs that quiet time.
It's like
okay
everything
not
else.
to connect.
Yeah, it's like everything else. We have to do it in moderation.
I think sometimes spiritual ego lets us go there sometimes because we're just so excited about connecting and And don't get me wrong, I went through it. I did.
Mm.
But we're not supposed to be connected 24/7. Now, there's a difference between being connected with everybody else and being connected with your guides. I believe so. If you don't agree, that's fine. But you have to have that inner peace just for you. You need it. We're human vessels. We're not, omnipotent.
Very true. Yeah, no, it's true because for me, it might be different for somebody who stays home all the time. They say, "Oh, I can be open all the time because I'm just staying home." I have what I call a day job, the job I have to do so that I am able to do what I love to do. And if I was I am still slightly open because for me it's more of a sending than it is a receiving, but we always receive. If I was open at my job, my day job, the same way I'm here when I'm being, as I call it, Mama D spot, I would probably run screaming from the room because there's so many energies. There's so many people who come in and out. I can see between 80 and 100 people in an hour.
You know what Brian and I talked about too was, as much it is important to be connected, it's also really important to disconnect. And I think a lot of times readers or whatever you want to call yourself forget about the disconnecting thing. It's really important to disconnect. It really, truly is. And I know when I was working at Walmart, as soon as I walked to the door, boom, grounded and bubbled. Now, what people don't understand, it does work to be grounded and bubbled, but you're still going to get things that you're supposed to get. Mm-hmm. I did. And when you have that type of pulling, okay, but you need to always disconnect. Always, 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 always. Disconnecting, if you do not learn to disconnect, it can make you sick. It gave me a nervous breakdown, and I was in the hospital for 10 days. This was way, way long time ago. So I didn't want to listen, so what happened?
Correct.
So it's really, really important to ground and to bubble and to center and to disconnect. And there's so simple ways of disconnecting. Drink some water. Shake your hands 3 times. Whatever works for you. Mm-hmm. Water is very, very powerful. So, I mean, those are my perceptions. That's what I believe. You all can believe whatever you tend to believe or you want to believe, but that's what I believe.
Well, I had the same thing, really, because I used to walk into a shopping centre and doing the thing that I do, which is picking up from other people's minds, I could hear just a continuous talk from people everywhere. And I got so used to it that in the end I didn't worry. Well, my good lady said to me one day, well, you should ground and bubble yourself before you go into the centre. So I tried it one day. I sat in the car too. All this beautiful pink bubble right the way around me. Went in, and it was as though there was no one there. It was as though I was on my own. I could hear people as long as I was facing them and intent of picking up on their mind.
You know, as it's imperative. It really is imperative that you learn to ground. And there's so many different techniques out there. You know, use your searching skills. I mean, they're all over the internet. Go to a good friend. Go to a medium or somebody that you trust. But grounding is very important. Disconnecting is really, really important. And I do believe that any medium who works, we're going to let you know this. They've learned this lesson. And it's an important lesson to learn. It really, truly is. Jennifer, do you have a question, sweetheart?
You have to unmute. Jennifer.
Maybe she walked away. I just sensed that she
No, she's there. She's just talking and not unmuting. Okay, Jen, you're unmuted. She was there. I just heard her. Okay, Jennifer. Okay, something just went wrong. Okay, well, so Jennifer, you can type it.
No, I just felt that she wanted to ask me something, and I mean, not so much a reading, but she had a question or she wanted to make a comment, and I but that's okay. It's all right.
Scott in the chat room, I usually touch them on the arm, hug them, or mentally do so and give them their burdens back after healing and reading.
Or you could lift up the burden to the universe and let it go that way, too, whichever works for you.
As I say, there's so many different ways of doing things. Who's to say what is right and what is wrong? I mean,
exactly. like I said,
is
whatever works for you. You know.
There is no rights and wrongs in anything in spiritual. So it's beautiful. I think to be quite honest, the day will come when more and more people have got it, and we will be able to share it all around the world without any problem at all. And I desperately hope that I'll be here. There again, I think I might have to live till 50. No, it's
Sorry,
a beautiful
was that your
thing.
age? Age is. I thought you were already there.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Did Brian said he hopes he doesn't have to wait till he's 150 years old to see the openness of the world?
Well, I think you're right, Carol. I think there's more and more and more people all around the world. Oh, thank you very much, Scott. Have you heard the? No, I won't say that. No, and I'm from London. I'm not from the up north cold pot place. It is really becoming apparent the amount of people that are. And see it when they had what can you say, a showdown in America when everybody, and there was hundreds there, just stood there silently and didn't say a word. And I think that would hit hard to everybody. And that's the sort of thing that we need, to be our own people. Jennifer got booted. Woohoo!
I swear it wasn't me.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Wasn't me.
It was Brian.
No. No, I didn't do that. What are some of the other things that
you wearing? Oh, boots.
My boots.
I was going to say,
large, extra large, thank you very much.
What are some of the other things that you've found, though, Sherri? I mean, you run a hell of a lot of classes. You teach in virtually every vein of spiritualism that there is. And these are some of the things that, I used to come to your classes and come away absolutely in awe of it because you've got so much experience at it. So what are some of the other things
I
teach?
do have psychic classes. I have ICRs, timeline readings, stones, mediumship.
Is there anything that you teach a lot because you want to share the gifts and you want to help people open up to their gifts, but is there anything that you teach that you like the least? It's like your least favorite course.
No, because I use all my gifts together.
Okay.
There's things that I don't do. I'm not a card reader. I tried, and I remember looking at the cards and then looking at the sitter and looking at the cards and looking at the sitter, and I said, I can't do this. And I put the cards away and just connected.
Okay.
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with cards. Do not get me wrong. There's some brilliant card readers out there, and that just, it amazes me. It truly, truly does. But that's just not a forte of mine. It just isn't,
I remember one day I was talking to Sherri, and Pauline brought me in an orange, and I'm sitting here quietly peeling it. It wasn't on camera. And all of a sudden Sherri just said to me, "Gosh, I can smell oranges." I was so, I just said, ugh. And realising from there that she is absolutely unbelievable. So all that sort of thing, has happened all through the past years, and I've got quite used to it now. So.
I work with my guides very closely, though. I do, and sometimes I can be a stubborn butt, I'm not going to. I don't pretend to be something that I'm not, nor do I put myself on a pedestal, because I find that my guides will just kick those legs right out from underneath me. I call those God slaps. Don't let me climb that ladder, because I belong on the ground. You know what I mean? But I've learned so much from other people too. It's really an awesome exchange. I'm in awe of. I'm like a little kid in a candy store sometimes. Like, oh, really? Wow, cool. I don't.
And I've heard you do that. I've heard you do that. You'll be like, just having a conversation, and then spirit will connect with you, and you'll be like, really? Wow. Okay, cool. And then you'll pass on the message, but it's like, it's so
Instant.
what you say, for everybody who's in the chat room, what she's saying is not just, lip service for the show. I've heard her do that. So it just goes to prove that no matter who you are, where you are on your path, and I don't call it levels, I call it a path, that we're always learning.
Oh, yeah.
And as far ahead of the path that Sherri is in regards to me, because I'm just like, I consider still a newbie. I'm not in diapers, but I'm a toddler. It's awesome to see somebody who's further along in their path still sit there and go, wow. So
I'm going to disagree with you there. Okay,
no.
I'm not further along in my path. I'm a toddler at things too. I think we're all toddlers. We're all teachers. We're all students. There's a lot of things that I ran from, and that's the one reason that I find spiritual integrity so important, because you need that inside work. If you can't be honest with yourself in every facet of yourself, the dark, the light, the indifferent. I mean, there's things about myself that I'll sit here and go, okay, all right. Am I loving and mushy all the time? No, I'm not. Do I get angry? Heck yeah. But I've also been put in my place. I'm not judgmental. I'm not. I don't know. I don't care where you're from, what color you are, what you believe, what you don't believe. If you come to me for a reading, I'm going to give you what I get, and it's as simple as that.
And when you tell somebody what they consider to be, I know you did it to me once, and I can't remember what it was. And I said something. I said, hold up, that's not what it is. It's you sort of set me right on something that I was wrong in. And it wasn't, some people may have said, oh my God, she scolded. No, she didn't scold me. She didn't scold me. It was how she saw it. And when you share what you see, more often than not, people, they're open enough to it, they'll see it. And I wasn't seeing something. They run from it.
Yeah, I've done connection. Well, that's not right. Okay. Well, that's not right. Okay. And then they'll come back to me maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks later and say, I need to apologize because I was just scared. I said, that's okay. We all get that way. It's called human behavior. Now, what you really maybe want to do is, why were you scared? Look inside and see where that fear is coming from. Find out why you were scared, why you felt like you had to run. And sometimes people aren't really ready to hear what you get, what a reader gets. Now, people can disagree with me, but, it's flight or fright or whatever you want to call it, Yeah,
and I think that's also why sometimes when, I'm going to use me as an example, I'll sit there and when somebody does a reading on me, I'll take notes, because at that moment in time, I may have my mind set on one question. I don't have a question. I don't verbalize a question because I really suck at verbal questions. But in my mind, I have this one question. So I come to you and I was like, okay, tell me what you get. And you tell me. And there's some things that I've just like, making sense. So I'll write it down. And later, when I've calmed down and I've gotten out of that one question zone, I'm like, the bulb will finally have switched on as to what
The
you
light
said.
bulb, yeah.
Yeah. So some people will, not get it, but not get it at the moment.
Exactly.
Because their mind is focused on one thing.
It's like with the visions that I have, I don't always understand why I'm getting them, but down the road I'll be like, oh. Like with me lately, I've had a lot, massive amounts of deja vu. Massive amounts. And the deja vu that I've had recently has a lot to do with my great-granddaughter or my granddaughter. Or while I'll be sitting here, my husband, and while I'll be sitting in the living room, I'll sit here and go, okay, I've had this conversation before. It's been happening to me a lot. A lot.
Wow.
Have you ever had someone come for a reading who is too dark or has some kind of mental issue that scares you and you can't read them or wouldn't want to connect them with anyway? Yes. When I first started out a long time ago, because of my religion and how I was raised, yes. Now, no. Not at all.
I think if somebody's dark and is coming to you, they want to, for me, they want to get that light put on. And
sometimes, or sometimes the person can, as far as the mental issues, the person can be delusional, or maybe they can be a paranoid schizophrenic, or there's other things, and that's why I said you need to really, that's why my guides and my angels are here. Yeah. And I've been taught to disconnect with love, or step back and say, and turn it into a counseling session instead of so much a reading.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hey, Gigi. Yeah. She bring the red chair? I don't think so. No, I agree. I connected to somebody, a very brilliant young man, and he sort of spoke of himself in the third person, and I came to discover that he had, I'm not sure if it was a form of schizophrenia or something, because we had conversations.
Okay, personalities.
Yeah, but he was so afraid because everybody else sort of judged him on it, and I said, no, come, this is a place that you can be open. It doesn't matter if you're, back in the day when people saw spirit, heard spirit, they were not, you locked them up in a rubber room. So it's people who have that special gift, in some respects are extra special, but they just haven't figured out to quiet the voices down. And he was like, okay, fine. Yes, he was a little bit more than but he was open to listening, and he was open to learning about how it was. So yeah, I think that there are people out there who have different personalities, but I don't know if I would ever.
Is it true?
Is it true that spirit or your guides will only bring you those that need to hear a particular message that they can only give through you?
I don't believe that. I think there's some other connection between that person and you, that they are brought to you. It could be a trust factor. It could be another factor. Maybe that person is really connected to you and feels safe with you. See, that's like a double-edged sword. But I don't think only that I can give. I think the people who come to me are brought to me for a reason. But I also believe that they could go to others. Does that make sense, Diane? You're welcome.
It's not that much time delay. Christy, you have your hand up. Did you want to mic up, honey? Want me to unmute you? I'm going to unmute you. Hey, Christy.
Hello.
Hi,
Did you have?
Hey, Sherri.
Hi, honey.
I don't have any particular question, though I did have one. I said, no, Sherri already answered that. And my mind's so screwy right now. I can't think of anything to ask.
Well, that's okay. Sometimes, when messages are given, they're not only given for that person, but they're given for multiple people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Christy, if I can say to you a couple things, may I?
Yes.
Again, sweetheart, you have such a really beautiful heart. There's a lot of different shades of pink around you that I'm seeing, and different shades of blue. I don't know if you affiliate yourself with those colors, but I can see them. But I'm also seeing spots of red. Now, let me tell you to me what spots of red mean. Red to me is some anger. Anger usually stems, from my perception, with things that we have no control of, or we can't control it. It can come from fear. Now, you also are very hard on yourself. You really are. I'm not saying that you're hard on yourself 27, but you really need to believe in you and your own perceptions. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with your perceptions. A lot of times, you're going to go through this walk, this life of yours, and there's nobody going to agree with you. And sometimes that happens and your feelings get hurt. You know what? Everybody doesn't agree with me. But what's true in your heart's going to be true in your heart. And you don't need a fan base behind you, because you're perfect just the way you are. You really, truly are. Does that make sense to you, Christy?
Yes, it does.
You really are. I mean, I'm just extending a really nice energy hug to you right now. And if you feel some tingly on your shoulders, that's just my energy for you. You are really beautiful. Stop doubting yourself, sweetheart. You can't be everything to everyone. Just be for yourself for right now. And that's not being selfish or egotistical. You need that self-love for yourself. You understand?
Yes.
Because you are really a beautiful person. You really, really are. But you're the one that needs to believe that. People are not always going to agree or see things like you see them. It doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make you right. It just is what it is.
True.
And I know you want to cry right now.
Yes, I do.
I know. I feel it in your heart. And you know what? There's no shame in tears. There's never no shame in tears. To me, tears are a cleansing from the inside out. That's all they are. There's never nothing to be ashamed of when you cry. Man, I cry at everything when people gives me gifts. Do I get my feelings hurt? Yeah, I do. But that's on me, not somebody else. But you know what? Look in the mirror. Stand in front of the mirror tomorrow. And just look in your own eyes and say, wow, you know what? You're beautiful. You're wanted. You're loved. You're needed. And smile. Because you are. Every one of us here are wanted, needed, loved. You're just beautiful. You really, truly are. And I'm not buttering your biscuits. I'm just telling you what I see.
I believe you.
Well, and that's your choice, whether you believe or not. And there's a particular dream that you've been having. and you're only getting it in pieces. Would that be correct? Yes or no, please?
I've got to go with I don't know. I haven't.
Okay. Well, I don't think you're remembering. But pay attention to your dreams, okay?
Okay.
Don't be afraid of them. Just pay
Okay.
attention to them, okay?
Okay, I'll pay more attention to them.
And you're another one that needs more water.
True. I've cut back on drinking.
And try to drink a bottle of water before you go to bed. Okay?
Okay.
And more vegetables would be good, too.
That's funny because tonight is the first time I've had a vegetable, I think, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you need those vegetables. Yeah, you'd need, yeah. Your body needs the vegetables, sweetheart.
Okay.
You like your cookies, don't you?
I sure do.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you the Cookie Monster. You love your cookies.
I'll take a cookie over a piece of candy, I think, or a piece of cake. I'll take my cookies.
Yeah. So just keep doing those vegetables, okay?
Okay.
You don't care for fish?
Oh no fish.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest like tuna or something to you, and my guide told me, "Oh no, don't do that because she doesn't like fish." And I'm like, "Okay then."
This is true. Actually, if I smell tuna fish, I will literally start gagging.
Okay. See, to me that's hard because I could live on fish for the rest of my life. I love fish. I always have loved seafood. Mm-hmm. So when somebody tells me they don't like it, I'm like, I'm like that little bird in the cage and their head goes to the side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, sweetie, try not to be so hard for you. And you know what? Stop taking the day to bed. You lay in your bed and you play out the whole day. Can you try not to do that?
Yeah.
And you know you do it.
Yeah, I definitely do it.
So next time you do that, catch yourself and say, no playing out the day. The day is done. Tomorrow's a new day. Let it go. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, honey, for letting me connect to you.
Thank you, Sherri.
You're very welcome, sweetheart.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Sherri.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I love when you connect. It's so awesome. Anne wants to know, where did you get this saying? It's not spiritual, but
what are your biscuits?
I'm not buttering your biscuits.
That goes back years and years ago because way back when, and I'm talking way back when, I used to be Major Miss Potty Mouth. I mean, talking Major Miss Potty Mouth. And one of my favorite things to say was O-S-H-I-T. Mm-hmm. Until my 2-year-old granddaughter dropped her dolly on the floor and said, "Oh, sit." Oh. It hit me like somebody stabbed me in my heart. And I thought to myself, oh, what a proud grandma you must be. From that day on, I changed my language. And the butter in the biscuits came from, I'm not trying to kiss your ASS. That's where that came from. So I just learned different ways to say things.
That's very good. That's interesting, yeah.
And it's cute. Come on. You know, would you rather be called a liar or a fibber lipper? Would you rather, it's just, and it's not that, I say it and I think the other. I don't. I have programmed my mind to say no. Yeah.
Diane likes that fibber lipper.
The word liar is like, wow, it's such a strong word, like the word hate to me. It really is strong, and it's demeaning, and when my kids would go, "Are you fibber lipping?" And they'd look at me. I go, "We don't fibber lip, okay?" It's such a nicer way of saying it. Without, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's me.
No, it makes it, but yeah, exactly. That's you. That's exactly the way you are. Because there are some people out there who cuss, and
you know,
there's
if they
nothing
do,
really
they do.
wrong
I'm
with
not
cussing.
judging people who cuss, and don't think that I never do either.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Because I have, when I've been really upset and angry. Oh yeah, I have. Brian knows. He let me vent one night for like a half hour. Remember, Brian? Oh yeah, okay, it's in there. Okay.
Oh,
I'm not going to pretend that I'm Miss Polly Pocket, because I'm so not. Okay. But the difference with me is I admit it. Where a lot of people try maybe to paint this rosy glasses. No. What you see is what you get.
Yeah. Very true.
She's a
I have heard
very, very straightforward person. Always has been. And this is one of the reasons that I am so empathic with Sherri, is because she is Sherri. She's not trying to be anybody else. She is just her. And believe me, I've spoken to... What you see
is what you get.
Yeah, I've spoken to Dave and Nichols on the fact, and he said that she's like no other person in this world. And I feel strongly for him, because...
You know what the thing is, Brian? I'm not like anybody else in this world. You're not, Darlene. Anybody in this chat room is not like anybody else. They're their own individual person. And the thing is to love that individuality. Why would you want to be somebody else or like somebody else?
A lot of people do, though, Sherri.
Plant creator, all trees, all colors would be the same. We need that versatility. I mean, seriously.
Very true.
Very, very true.
Yes, Carol, I will, or you can contact me.
Okay. I love it when people say, "Oh my God," like they'll say, "There's only one of you, darling." It's like, of course, the world can't handle two of me. Each one of us is an individual. That's what Brian's going.
We're all part of the I am, which is a very strong word. But
Terry's saying the same thing, you know that, darling. There's only one of us.
We are unique.
Yeah,
all of us are very unique, and it's that uniqueness that we need to embrace. We're not all Polly Pockets. We get angry, but it's okay as long as It's okay. There's no sin in being angry. But you step back and use that anger in a constructive way, and then look and see, okay, what was it that angered me about those words? Mm-hmm. If you take it back inside, you'll see the answer. You really, truly will see the answer. If you're willing to look.
One person's opinion, that's all.
It's very true. Okay. If anybody, again, has a question in the chat room, please pipe up, mic up, and put your hand up.
Carol, I have to tell you something. I told you, yes, I can, and actually, I cannot. Not today, I can't, because I have other things that I need to take care of, so I don't want to disillusion you or make you sitting there, twiddling your thumbs. I can't today, but I will get in touch with you. Okay?
She said okay.
Sherri's a very busy girl, believe me.
She's got a babysitter house.
So much wonderful work for other people, and she's all helping other people. So.
Yes, but she also has to remember the energy that the information that she shares with others, that she does take it to heart. Sometimes not as much as to heart as we all should, but Sherri has to take care of herself.
Yep.
And if we want Sherri around to continue to help us, we need to allow her to help herself.
I've learned with my injury that I've learned to be my own advocate. I've learned to stand up, even more so, and say, you know what, you guys are full of bean soup. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I did not say bean soup, just so you all know that. No. I have, when I'm in pain, I take it easy. I've canceled readings because I've had a painful day. But I have also found that when I'm scheduled for a reading, I have asked my guides and angels step forth and ask them to step, put the pain somewhere that I can handle it and do what I need to do. And that has happened too. And it hasn't happened. So it's, it does work both ways for me.
Very true.
That's very true. I mean, I've been the same thing myself. I've virtually, since my back injury,
And I don't see surgery for you, Brian, just so you know. I don't.
Oh, no.
I just don't. I don't.
I just won't be pulling axles out of cars anymore. I'm a bit too old for that, I've been told.
Well, that was a lesson, don't you think?
Yes.
More than a lesson?
Yes.
There you go.
Very hurtful lesson. But that's life.
We're all getting older. We don't all have the same body parts that we had when we were 16, 17, 20, 22. And you know what? It's the only body we have. We have to say, no. Sometimes we want to act like we're Superwoman or Superman, but you know what? Then we pay the price afterwards, so.
You listening, Brian? Are you listening, Brian?
We all do it, Brian. We all do. I'm not throwing, I'm not pulling the carpet out from underneath your feet, but we all do it.
I am. I am, because this is not the first time he's hurt his back doing something helpful for others.
And I have done it too, Brian, so.
I thought it was all over and done with until the people next door, somebody donated a table and 6 chairs to them, and they're really good condition. I said, look, leave them on your trailer. I said, pull them around to the side of my house. I said, and I'll see if I can find a home for them. Anyway, because the guy himself couldn't leave his property, so I went out there and helped him pull the trailer up to my side, because it's slightly uphill, and oh my God, that was it, done it again. So, been in dire pain for the last 20 days.
I would like to say that Scott put in the chat room. My mind, yes. The mind checks that the body can't cash.
Jennifer's
he's a Scotsman. Scotsmen don't write checks.
Jennifer's over there picking things up from people.
Jennifer, what you up to?
Oh, yeah, yes, she is. I can feel the energy. I can feel her. I can feel her connecting.
Actually, yeah.
I know you are.
Pretty interesting you say that. Yeah, before I got rudely bumped out of here, were you trying to tell me something?
No, actually, you had questions, and I would ask you what they were. And I'm not talking about a connection, but I had a strong sense that you wanted to ask me something, and I don't know what it was. But you held. I mean, you all can ask me anything you want. If I don't know, I'm going to say I don't know.
Well, now that you've brought it up, yeah. Matter of fact, when I first connected, my little intuitive dog over here sometimes gets sort of wild, and I had to mute because he was getting overly crazy.
He likes my energy.
Yeah, but I had a funny I know that somebody was here, and I can't pinpoint it. I've had a lot of visitors.
Female.
Oh. Female.
I want to say aunt, mother's side.
Okay.
This woman also had breathing issues.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
She's been trying to talk to you for a while now, and I almost, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say that she came in your dream, too. But the dream was like disarrayed. It was confusing, so you didn't get the message that she was trying to tell you. That makes sense to you, ma'am?
Yes.
Again, you're, hold on. My guide's telling me to tell you, diplomacy is a good thing to have, but being over is not.
Okay.
Sometimes readings aren't about soft petals and fluff and tough. Sometimes they can be kind of hardcore.
Yeah, I know.
Also telling me to tell you not to hold back from them. because there's a lesson there for you.
Yeah. I know.
He says you say you know,
Mm-hmm.
but as you say that you know, your stomach's going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I have refrained. I've had some people coming to me, and I'm like, you know what? Not today.
And that's all you have to say is not today.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get the type of people that, and I mean this in a loving way, not in a disrespectful way.
Just say it.
Get what you call the bloodsuckers, the little leechers.
Yeah.
That keep coming back for the same reading because they don't get the answer that they want to get.
Yeah. Or whatever you've given them isn't enough. It's more. Yep,
Right.
You're absolutely right.
You just say, sorry, not today. We went over this. I don't know what else that I can tell you. You need to work on what was given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And until you work on that, then maybe we can move on. And that's not an egotistical statement.
Right.
So, your stomach's still going flip-flops. So what is it that you want to say to me, Jennifer?
Oh, like I said, I was just, I've got all this, I do have a lot on my mind. What do you think my next steps, that I should take would be the proper?
Well, the first step, I'm being told, is to stay out of your head.
That's going to be hard to do, but yeah.
You know what?
Out of my head.
It isn't as hard as you think it would be. Catch yourself on it. Okay, where am I right now? Am I in my head again? No, that's not what I want to be. Use a pen and paper to write stuff down. Get it out of your head onto pen and paper. You've been told this before. In fact, you've been told this 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And sometimes, okay, I'm being shown 3/4. 3/4 of the time, you don't always maybe take that advice. You can be very stubborn.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You're a funny stubborn. Because you know it, and you know you're stubborn, but you laugh at yourself for your own stubbornness.
All the
and
time.
Then you go right back to it. And that's funny, because I understand stubborn, believe me. You're talking to the queen, okay?
Yeah.
But you're another one that needs to drink more water.
Yes, and I've been working on that. I'm
just going to ask Brian and you guys to fill up some pitchers of water and pass them around to everybody in this room. Really, seriously, you do really need to drink some water.
Yeah, I have been working on that.
And, a nice warm bath with some lavender or Epsom salt would be really nice for you. I don't know if you have hip issues.
Mm-hmm.
Or that would be really relaxing for you to do, sweetheart. It really would be. Take the time to do the stuff that you need to do for you. I understand that you want to give and you want to help and you want to do this and we want to do that. Take one day that just belongs to Jennifer. Turn the phone off. The world's not going to end. Soak in that tub. Get your candles and say, not today. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, I do. And
are you thinking about writing a book?
Oh, yes, I have been for quite a while, and it's been heavy on my mind. Matter of fact, I was talking to somebody about that this morning.
So I'm being shown the tree of life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being shown a path with these little cobblestones leading up to a grassy knoll where this tree is. Mm-hmm. And I'm being shown you sitting underneath the tree, and all these little knowledges are just being downloaded to you. So again, this has to do with writing.
Mm-hmm.
And just taking things and jotting them down and starting like a diary type thing and then going back. You're the type of person that likes to get things done. You don't want to take your time. You want to get her done.
Yes.
This is not going to be something that's going to say, get her done, get her done, get her done. This, I'm being shown, is going to be a process over 3 to 5 years.
Well, it's been it's been about 5 years that I have been writing.
Okay, and I'm to ask you what is stopping you, and don't fibber-lip to yourself. Stop thinking that people don't want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, wow.
Let it go. If you have a need and a pull to get it out there, then do it. Don't worry about what's going to come after. Stay in the now of it. Do you understand, sweetheart?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, well, that's all I'm picking up for you right now, and I hope that this information I have given has helped.
Oh, yes, it has. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Wow.
I can't hear anybody, so if you all are talking, I can't hear you.
I muted us. I said I just wanted to hug you.
Aw, thank you.
I'm sending you my hugs.
You know, if you have a lavender candle, I would suggest you burn that.
I have a lavender satchel somebody gave to me as a gift.
No, I'm sorry, excuse me, I should have clarified. Jennifer, if you have a lavender candle, please burn it. Especially when you're ready to go to bed, about a half hour before you're ready to go to bed. And chamomile tea will be good for you also.
Good. Great. Thank you. Matter of fact, I was just thinking about some lavender hanging around so it would help me sleep at night.
And it will. And see, that's a first thought. Go with your first thoughts.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Okay. Brian, I did unmute you, you know. He's typing a book.
So, Darlene or Brian, do you have any other questions, or do you want?
I
want to thank you for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure.
I was excessively very, very nervous about coming here. And again, I sat here and go, what am I supposed to share? And it just flowed. So, see, I even do it, guys. See? There you go.
We want this show to be about people sitting down, having a chat, and just letting flow. There's never been, we don't have like a list of questions. It just doesn't work that way with us. We're just
I wasn't sure because, as you know, that I was on a show that, when we did an interview, and I'm really rocking at interviews, but, yeah, I didn't know what the format was going to be like, so,
This is a free-for-all.
That's a fibber.
Yep.
I actually thought it was going to be that format.
Mm-hmm. No, this is a free-for-all. We have time here, and there's nothing you can or cannot say.
Okay,
I do
want to offer my services if anybody would like them. They can get a hold of me on Facebook or Skype. My name is wingstosoar-1218. Just let me know who you are because I will not add you if I don't know you.
Just say you met her through the show.
Yes. Please.
And because there's always availability to add a whole bunch of people.
Pickles are not vegetables.
Well, they are before they're pickled.
Oh.
Now, before they're pickled, the cucumbers would be, which cucumbers are very good for your kidneys, by the way. So if anybody has kidney issues, cucumbers, cilantro, very good for the kidneys. Very, very good for the kidneys.
I cannot find S-H-E. There you are. I do two things at one time, and sometimes I get kind of lost in sauce. So this is Sherri's Facebook page. So if you want to add her as a friend, there you go.
Yeah, it's Sherri Gamble, right. And I put both my names on there because, like I said, over 20, 30, 35 years ago, people knew me just as Wings to Soar.
Yeah.
So, yes, cucumbers are very good for you. Very, very good for you.
Mind you, you say that. I know what fish do in water, so I don't drink that stuff.
Yeah, cucumbers are really good for your kidneys. Cilantro is very good for the kidneys.
No, it's beautiful stuff.
Okay, Sherri, is there anything in the upcoming year that you would like to do on what I call your bucket list?
I'd like to do more traveling and speaking, which that's in the works, by the way. I plan to expand my teaching things and give more live readings to more people, which that's in the works too. I've been asked to come and speak to like 100 people, which is
awesome.
I have no problem speaking in front of people, so let me see. On my bucket list would be to get my teeth done. That's my primary thing, is to get my teeth done.
Okay. Do you have a website that people can go to?
No, and
just
funny that you
the
mentioned
Facebook
that.
For.
Yeah, just the Facebook, and I've been told to, I've been advised that it's time to do that, but I'm not great at that kind of stuff, so I have to look and get some help from somebody to do it.
Well, just FYI, Intuitalks has a great deal on websites and great assistance on websites, so you can always check out what their packages are.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I
they do.
that. Thank you.
Yes, because I have the show and I have the my website, and I'm really not awesome at websites. So the creator of Intuitalks, she sort of set me up, and everything I do. She has tutorials that you can go and it'll tell you how to do things, but I think there's a charge for it, and she'll set a basic website and you can add or subtract things as you want. And
well, I had
give her a call.
I had a lady come to me last week that wanted to be my project manager, and I just looked at her and went, "Say what? What are you talking about, project manager?" Well, does websites and promotes you, and I went, "Why?"
Because
she said, because she had a dream about it. I went, "Alrighty then." I was like, "Okay."
We need to check this woman out.
I'm doing that now.
Good. Yeah, because I happen to agree. I do think that
I check them out really well.
Yes,
I check them out very well.
That's very good. Okay, so check out the Intuitalks packages. It might be of interest to you. Like I said, I'm used to. I know what I can see in my head, what I want as a website, but to actually put it into action, useless. Yeah, very reasonable. But Jenny Satori Davis, I just sort of spoke to her and told her kind of what I wanted, and she says, okay. And then she eventually said, okay, your website's ready. And I looked at it, I was like, ooh, it's pretty, and it's what I wanted. And I learned how to add things that I wanted to it and take things away and whatnot. But it's like I said, it's an all-in-one. You can either have just the website or the website and the shows or whatever, But check it out.
I want to ask the chat room in general, who's planning on going to a ceremony that is, and please forgive me if I don't get the name right, it deals with Native Indians? I keep seeing this Native Indian ceremony. I forget what they're called.
Like a powwow?
Yes, thank you, powwow. So whoever this is, and I'm going to say it, you'd be a fool if you don't go. Seriously, you need to go.
Oh, people get one now.
So whoever's being told to go, they need to go.
I think, as I said, I think a lot of people are sitting there going, well,
Yeah,
does that mean,
I'm wondering too. It's been heavy on my mind.
Well, if it's been heavy on your mind, there's a reason it's been heavy on your mind.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who you are, Renee.
It's Renee Richards.
Renee Richards.
Me or Renee? Medium Richards?
Renee Richards.
Renee Richards, yes.
Renee Richards. Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mother of God. Wow. You got some great, wow. Wow, you got some real energy there, woman.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does. And I'm sorry, I connected without asking. I apologize. It just hit me right in my third eye like a boom. Wow.
Got that effect.
Oh, wow. Wow, talk about down to earth and honest. Your honesty has gotten you in trouble before, hasn't it? Uh-huh. You give
Renee, why
what
don't
you
you
get.
mic up?
Ooh, wow. Holy. Some really heavy-duty angels around you, too. You come fully packed there, woman. Wow. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would sit down with you on a reading. Whoa. I'm being told, though, sweetheart, be cautious about the blonde-haired woman down to her shoulders. Be cautious, because you've looked once, you've looked twice at her, and there's something that just doesn't quite fit. Go with that. Do you understand?
Does that make sense?
And I'm also seeing an envelope of money. I don't know what that means. Do you have a white cat in spirit, may I ask? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm seeing a white cat in spirit around you. Not a short hair, not a long hair, but a medium type of cat. I don't know if it's one of your spirit animals but this cat is around you a lot. Do you understand? Okay. Oh, I love cats. Aw. Likes to cuddle. Aw. This little cat likes to lick the nose. Likes to cuddle. Aw. Oh, stop it. Chicken.
Brian, I'm gonna smack you, you little. Actually, I'll do better. I'll mute your butt. There you go.
Oh, the trip that you're planning, Renee, make sure you take extra clothes. I'm seeing some type of luggage delay. Do you understand? Maybe you'd want to pack some clothes just like in a bag and take it on the plane with you. I'm seeing a delay in luggage, if that makes sense. And this trip I'm being shown is around water. I'm seeing a body of water. Oh, you're coming out to California. Cool. That's where I am.
Hmm.
And I'm also Arizona. I'm also being shown a pendant, something that you really treasure. It was a gift. I mean, you really treasure this pendant. I'm also being shown an ankle bracelet. But I want to say this ankle bracelet was lost or misplaced. it'll be back. Yes, it's thin. It's real dainty. But anyway, that is all I get for you, dear. Thank you for letting me connect.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Very welcome.
I've got so many gifted people around. It's unreal. I mean, Scott has just been talking to me on the side, and he's just told me all the things that I've got wrong with me, and given me a blasting for things that I haven't told people. So.
Oh, okay.
I like when Scott does that.
He's a cool dude.
Yes. You two would get along. Yes, that's one thing about this place. 3 Points of Light. We attract very many special people. Everybody is special, but anybody who comes into this chat room seems to just glow and shine all the more. So it's fun. And when we have awesome guests like Sherri, it's even better. Because Sherri, not only are you giving readings to people, even though you weren't sure if you wanted to, but you glow with them.
Please take I want to take a 5-minute break on you. I've got to take a walk because my back is absolutely as stiff as a board at the moment. So please excuse me.
Sure. Go do what you need to do for you.
Thanks, Alf.
And no snogging with Polly in the corner. I had to say that. Yeah. So when you give readings, I've noticed this before, is you glow, which I like. It's like, okay, you know those lights that are. It's not bug zappers, but they're bug zappers. They attract the they attract all the bugs and all the little flies and all the butterflies. I call them night butterflies. You are like that. You glow, and everybody just sort of flocks around. You just don't zap them. Well, you might zap them with love. You don't zap them and knock them out. It's like, hello. I am not a party pooper, Scott.
Well, just so you all know, I have no idea what I told you all. None whatsoever.
That's okay. This is what's fun. We'll go back and listen to it.
None whatsoever. I'm like, you.
I think pretty much everybody in the chat knows that how this, yes, like moths to a flame. And
I keep getting the name Carlton, and I don't know why.
Carlton?
Over and over, Carlton. I don't know why. And it's almost like it's not a person. It's almost like it's okay. Keep hearing it over and over again. Carlton. And it keeps getting louder and louder. Is this brother in spirit, Diane? Oh, okay. Never met him. Okay, thank you.
She's saying, yes, he is in spirit.
I'm very proud of you. But I'm also getting the taste of stale and old. And he says that's not of you, but that's of him because there was so many things that he would have done different. He's also telling me to tell you thank you for not being cruel and mean. He's telling me to tell you thank you for not being cruel and mean. There was a lot of cruel and mean people around him in this life, and you were not one of them. And he's showing me, this might sound odd, but I'm going to tell you what he's showing me. He's showing me a donkey. There's a donkey in spirit standing next to him. I find that funny, but, you know. So he must have been really attached to this donkey because it's standing right next to him. It's a cute little thing.
That noise.
His energy is really strong. I don't know if he had heart issues, but I'm feeling my heart really strongly. Well, he is around, sweetheart, just so you know.
He had a hole in his heart, sis.
Thank you, Diane, for speaking up.
Yeah, there's a bit of a time delay again in this show.
Interesting. Well, our time's almost up, right, Darlene?
Yep, we're about done. Are you sorry? You were done with Diane?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
That's okay. I don't want to interrupt. Okay, well, first off, I need to thank everybody who came to the chat room.
Yes, thank you.
Every week, you guys surprise us more and more. The more people come, and it's fun, and we have a good time, and some people come up with some interesting questions, and some people are acting like 2-year-old boys. I won't say who. Scott and Brian. But I love you all, and I thank you very much. Wings, awesome. You do realize that you're going to be coming back, right?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I'd love to come back.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
So much,
welcome.
Sherri. Thank you.
You guys are very warming. I felt very comfortable.
Good. All right, everybody in the chat room, let's give them a little shout out. Jennifer's Journey, who has no choice because she has to be here. Welcome. She's my co-host. Christy, Brian-Clover, that big again, who's also one of my co-hosts. And Carol, your number forecast. Diane, Jane, Gigi, who has the red chair. Jackie, Mama D, that crazy woman. Medium Renee Richards, Scott Stevens, Supernatural Radio, also known as the Purple Plates Lady, and my amazing guest, Wings to Soar. Thank you all very much for being here, and we'll see you again next week.
Good night,
everyone.
Say good night, Brian.
Oh.
Thank you, Brian. Good night, sweetheart.
God bless, love.
Feel better, Brian.
Thank you, Jen.